Yo, what's good, everybody? This is your boy Chad bringing y'all another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the unvaccinated versus the vaccinated. I'm not going to compare them like this is the truth, this is a lie, that's not what I'm doing here. I'm just going to say what's coming, as far as it goes for both sides, right? So you have the people who say get the vax. You have people who say I don't want the vax. You got the pro-vaxxers, the anti-vaxxers, everything like that. So I was just thinking, like, they're starting to put out more mandates because, like I said, I did put up other in that food shortage video. I said, New York first with the mandates, and of course, California is going to be next. Sure enough, California just popped up with more mandates next. And they even said, excuse me, but they even said, we have mandates and you cannot go grocery shopping without the vax and stuff like that. I'm not sure how much that is true, but I did see that, online that mandates have started in California. Um, but what I'm trying to get to is the fact that I really see that people who are not vaxxed, they're going to get it to the point where you're going to be demonized, right? So it's similar to how the whole maskers wear a mask and anti-mask, like they demonize the anti-mask. So what I see next is they're going to demonize the anti-vaxxers, or the people who just haven't gotten the shot in general because they don't want it. You feel me? What they're going to do basically is just say this whole Delta variant, this whole pandemic was caused by people who don't want the vax. When we all know that that's cap, that's not true. They even call people who have the vax super spreaders. So it's like that we know that's not true. But what they're also going to do is they're going to shut down stuff so much with these mandates. I don't know if we'll exactly have a lockdown. I feel like a lockdown is coming, but they could also just make it mandates where they're not going to try to punish the vaccinated people. They're only going to try to punish the unvaccinated people. So vaccinated people can go into the stores, they can go to, fitness places, indoor entertainment, everything like that, versus people who haven't had the vax won't be able to do anything. I personally haven't had the vax, and I personally don't give, 2 cents whether I can go for indoor entertainment, travel to a different country, any of that. Like, I just won't be doing it. It's that simple. I'll find something else to do. But what they're doing is, like I said, they're going to demonize us to where we're the issue for all of this. And then those who haven't got the vax, they're going to be basically like ostracized from society. And the whole point of them doing that, like, it's deeper than just, oh, we're going to mandate it and you can't do this if you don't have the vax. Like, they're trying to make it to where they're pressuring those who don't have the vaccine to get it. So they trying to put as much pressure as they can on them to get it. You know why? Like, the unvaccinated, they're gonna be watching their friends and family be able to travel to different countries, go into these different stores, everything like that. And the people who don't have it are gonna be like, man, like, I wish I could do these things if they really care that much. I wish I could do these things just to pressure them into getting the vax. And it's even gonna get to the point where, like, when stuff is really mandated and things like that, um, family members are gonna probably be looking at you funny, like, you should get the vax. You need to be safe. You need to be able to protect you and your other friends and blah blah blah. Friends are gonna be like, they're not going to invite you places because they know, you don't have the vax. They're going to say, oh, we can't. You don't need to come with us. You don't have the vax. We're only going to do stuff where you need the vax to participate, just to pressure you into doing it. And so you're going to end up coming to a crossroad where eventually you're going to feel like if you're not vaxxed, you're the problem. You're the one that caused the pandemic. You're the one that caused the Delta variant. You're the one that, has done so much harm to society, getting people sick and all that, that you're going to feel pressure inside, like, maybe I am the problem. Maybe I do need to get vaxxed, when your convictions and stuff are telling you you don't need to get the vax. Like, you're good. And it just comes to me like the Bible verse that's like, don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Like, just because you feel pressure from friends and family or the government and all these mandates to take the vax, don't be conformed to what the world feels is the right way to go. You feel me? Be transformed by the renewing your mind. My mind has been renewed. It's like, Chad, you see that they're trying to pressure you to take something that you may not want to take. They're trying to make you feel like you're the problem. They want you to make you feel like, oh, you can just fit in with your friends because you got the vax. Oh, you can travel with this group. Oh, you can have fun and do this. You can finally eat and buy groceries. Like, to me, it's not that deep. Like I said, I'll just go without. But I do see, that demonization starting to happen. They did it, like I said, with mask versus no mask. They did it between, whether we should be locked down or no lockdown people. And it's just gotten to the point where it's just kind of like the pressure is really ramping up. I talked to one of my friends and she was saying like, she feels really scared about this whole thing because she was like, I don't want the vaccine. I already had COVID once. And I was like, yeah, if you had COVID, you have the antibodies. And she was like, yeah, but like my family, you know, they're like pressuring me to get the vaccine because they're like, you need to protect yourself and you need to protect the family and do all this other stuff. And she was like, my friends are too. And she was like, I'm starting to feel like I need to get the vax, even though I don't want the vax, or I'm starting to feel like I'm the problem and, the vaccine is the only solution. And I was like, that's kind of how the devil's operating right now in this time. Like he's trying to pressure people to, he's using people, friends, family, everything to pressure you into feeling like you're the issue right now. You're the problem. You caused all this. You need to be like everybody else. You need to protect everybody. You need to protect your family and friends. You need to protect yourself and get the vax. And I told her, like, God has literally prepared you for a time like this. You don't want to conform to what your family feels. That pressure, that guilt, or whatever you feel on the inside, like this has gone past peer pressure. Like this has become societal pressure where society is telling you do this or you're the problem. Do this or you can't have fun. Do this or you can't do this. Do this or you can't do that. And it's like I said, do not be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so that's kind of how I see all this leading, just straight down the alley of, oh, if you don't conform, then you're the problem. And I guarantee you a lot of people are going to fall for this because they're not good with peer pressure and they definitely won't be good with societal pressure. Like, if you can't stand alone on your own, like this is really a test. To me, it's like a test. Will you stand on your own, trust God, and have your faith in God? you know, or will you just be caved into societal pressure? I also talked to another one of my friends on my PS4, and we were just discussing the vax and stuff. And he was like, I hate people who just don't want to wear the mask. And he was like, well, I was like, well, it's up to everybody if they want to wear the mask. And it's already been proven masks don't stop you from getting COVID or stop you from spreading. And then he compared it to a condom. Like condoms don't stop you from getting people pregnant all the way or stop you from getting STDs and things like that. And I was like, that does make sense. But at the same time, when people decide to wear condoms, that's on them. When people decide to wear masks, that's on them. Regardless of the fact is, with masks, you can still spread and get COVID. Condoms, you can still do both as well, but it's like they're all your personal choice. It shouldn't have to be mandated. That's my whole thing. And then I was also telling him, like, since you already had COVID, you have the natural antibodies. He was like, yeah, I do, but I think I'm still gonna get the shot. And I was like, like, why would you still get it if you've already had the antibodies? And he was like, well, I'm just trying to be safe. And, my mom, I'm really worried about her. And I was like, but has your mom been vaccinated? And he was like, yeah. I was like, so what else are you protecting your mom from if she's already been vaccinated? And then, I went into the whole, like, I'm not getting the vax, I feel like Jesus is covering me. God's got me. So whatever, if I'm supposed to get COVID, then I'm supposed to get COVID. If I'm get real sick, I'ma just be real sick. But I know at the end of the day, God's in control and he's got me. And he was like, I definitely understand that. I believe in God too. But if I had the choice to put it, in my hands or God's, like, I'm gonna just take the opportunity to just go ahead and get the vax and just save myself there. And in my head, I was like, I definitely feel what he's saying, but it's like, I felt like in my circumstance, my faith was greater than my trust in the shot. Like he was putting his trust in the shot to try to, make everything go away, or take matters into his own hands. Like like it says in the Bible, like everyone who tries to save their life will lose it, but everyone who puts their faith and trust in God, whoever puts their faith and trust in God, will basically save their life. Like God will save them. Let me see if I can get the exact verse. I don't want to be wrong here. Yeah, so Matthew 16:25, for whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it. So it kind of reminded me of like that, because he was like, I believe in God, I have faith in God, but when it comes to, this vaccine, or, this sickness, I had COVID, I got really sick, and, I just can't take that chance just giving it to God. I need to get the shot. And I was like, bro, like, God already showed you that you're good. Like, I'm not trying to tell him what God showed in his life, but for me, it's like he was there with you throughout the sickness when you caught COVID, and you're still alive to tell us the story. Like, he had you. Yes, you got sick. It definitely is a real virus, but you survive. And I told him, the survival rate of people with COVID, but he was still like, I'm still gonna get it anyway. Like, I just rather be safe than sorry. And he was like, bro, I just don't want you to get COVID. And I was like, if I do get it, then I get it. But if I don't, then, all glory to God. Regardless if I get it or don't, God's still in control. That's my whole thing. But yeah, when he said, the whole, like if I had to give it to God or put my faith, like, say, oh, I'm just gonna rely on God, and he was like, I'd rather just take the chance and get the vaccine than worry about is God gonna have me or not. And I was just like, it's just my faith is just a little bit, not even a little bit, but a lot greater than his in this circumstance. And I could definitely understand it because he had COVID, and he may have different life circumstances, but for me, it's like I just can't conform to that. Like I can't conform to what this world has to offer. Um, Even if it seems like the most logical option, because like I said, I feel God has me covered. Jesus got me. Like, it is what it is. But I definitely do see, them getting ready to demonize people that don't have the vax, don't wear the mask. And he even said, like, like I said just a few minutes ago, people who don't, like, he's mad that people just won't wear their masks, and he's mad, like, he's like, the vaccine, okay, but people not wearing the mask. And I'm just like, bro, you can't expect everybody to just do what it is people say to do. Like, that's not realistic. If you feel you need protection, then you protect yourself, because if the mask truly does what you guys are saying it does, it shouldn't matter if I have on a mask or not. You have the mask on, so you're protecting you. That's what I'm saying. If him saying, everybody, it's regardless. We don't need to go that deep. I'm not gonna go any deeper than that. But yeah, I just feel like, that's what's going on. Like I said, my friend, she says she feels pressure by her friends and family. She's starting to like get fearful, get scared, and she feels like she may cave in to, taking the vaccine. And I, gave her some scripture, also just gave her practical stuff, like, like just tried to talk to her through it and be like, don't be peer pressure into doing something that you don't want to do, even if your friends and family, think they're doing the right thing. Um, but yeah, so let me know your comments down below what you all think. Sorry I was like all over kind of with this video, but you kind of basically got the point of what I was trying to say. And as always, it's been your boy Chad, and I'm out. Peace.